Okay. You will have your midterm exam on Thursday. So that's April 7. The coverage for that exam is from Module 2 up to Module 3. The Module 2 pertains to fluid statics, while Module 3 pertains to hydrostatics. Okay, hydrostatic force. So that will be discussed today. Okay, so that will be the coverage. And then since on Thursday, you'll have your midterm exam. On Saturday, holiday tayo. So, yung susunod na synchronous class natin is on Tuesday next week. So that will be the schedule. No? Okay, so we are 47. We can begin with the discussion. If you are ready to learn today, please type hydrostatic in the chat box. Thank you so much for your participation. For this one, I will share my screen. So, can you see my screen? Can you see the PowerPoint? So, okay, let's start. We will discuss hydrostatic force on plane surfaces. So, let's say we have a plane surface that is situated on a slanted surface. Okay, so we have this flat object shown in this figure. So this is slanted, therefore we will have an angle. Now the goal here is to determine the force that is acting on this flat surface due to the fluid. So as we can see, this flat surface is submerged in water. Okay, so this is water and nasa ilalim siya nito. Okay, and our goal is to derive the formula for the force by determining the force. So we all know that pressure equals force over area. Okay? So if we will cross multiply area here, so we will have F equals P over A. P times A. Sorry. P times A. Now we'll prove that force is equal to gamma H bar A, wherein gamma is the unit weight of the fluid. H bar is the vertical distance from the top to the center of gravity of the flat surface. And then the area is the cross-sectional area of this flat surface. Okay, so we will derive this equation. We will prove that this is the case. Okay, so let's continue. So forces will act on this flat surface in this manner. So as we increase the depth, the force also increases because pressure, as we've learned from the past meetings, it increases at as we increase the depth. Okay, so the pressure of a point that's in the bottom is greater than the pressure on the top because of mas maraming fluid yung nasa taas nung nasa bottom. Okay, so mas malaki yung pressure doon. Okay, so it's in this form or shape. Now this is the cross-sectional or cross-section of this flat surface. So it is a rectangular surface. Now let's take a strip. Okay, let's analyze this strip. So we can say that the area is dA. Okay, this dA means it's a very small area. Okay, because we just took a very small strip from this flat surface. Okay, so we have this d sub A. Now this d sub A has h. Okay, and this h is the vertical distance from the top, from the surface of the fluid up to the strip. So there you have it, no? Ito yung strip natin. So naka-reflect lang siya dito. Now let's say we have a force that's acting on this strip. So we'll call that D sub F. Okay. Call that D sub F. Basically, we have two axes. We have the Z and the Y axis. So yung X natin papunta dito. Okay, yung X axis. Now this D sub F has a distance, no? Distance Y from the Z axis. So basically, Z axis is the perpendicular axis based on the surface. Okay? So andito yung object natin, andito yung rectangular plate, and then ito yung surface. So Z axis is the perpendicular axis. And Y is the distance from the perpendicular axis to the force, which in this case is dF. Now recall that pressure is equals force time divided by area. So in this case, we have d sub dF and dA. So we have pressure equals dF over dA. Cross multiplying dA on this side, we will have dF equals P times dA. And then using this equation, so we have P sub 2 equals P sub 1 plus gamma H. For us to substitute the value of P, okay? So we'll use this equation. So basically, P sub 2 is the P here. Okay. Now P sub 1 is what? 0. It's based from the surface. Okay. So therefore, we only have this gamma H. So substituting gamma H, so we will have dF equals gamma H dA. Now we can get H, okay, get H. So basically, sine theta is equal to H over Y. Saan ang galing yun? So remember, sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, right? Now, this forms a right triangle. Okay? And then yung theta natin is ito. Eh di ba yung H, ito rin yun. Okay? Sorry, yung theta natin is this. Okay? So, itong theta na to, same lang dito. Okay? So, kasi pag ni-reflect natin yan dyan, ito siya. Yan. Okay? So, ito yung theta na yon. And then, so opposite over hypotenuse. Therefore, we have sine theta equals H over Y. Okay, so this is the opposite side, and this is the hypotenuse. So we have H over Y. Now, we can cross multiply Y on this side. So we will have Y sine theta. Okay, and we can substitute this to this. Therefore, it will become gamma times Y sine theta dA. We can integrate both sides. Okay. So we have integral of dF equals gamma sine theta integral of Y dA. Recall that integral of Y dA is equal to the area times the centroid along Y. Okay. So therefore, this will become F. This will be retained. And this will become area times Y bar. Okay. So when we say H bar or Y bar, that is the vertical distance from the top, from the surface, up to the center of gravity of the flat surface. So center of gravity of a rectangular plate is located at what? H/2. Okay? So kalahati nung height dito sa axis na to. Pero dito sa axis na to, yan sa x-axis, yung center of gravity natin is located at x/2. So that's how we compute the center of gravity. Now, for triangle, iba yung CG natin. CG is located somewhere here, and from this side, it is 1/3 x. And then from the base, it is 1/3 y. It's important that we remember this. These are the basics. No? We learned from statics of rigid bodies. These are the two common shapes, rectangle and triangle. And these are their centroid, the center of gravity. Now let us continue. So y bar is equal to h bar pala. Okay. So height or distance from the surface to the center of gravity. Ito yan. Okay. So nireflect lang dito. Yung center of gravity natin andito. Yun. So for the y-axis, okay, for the y-axis, since ito naka-slant, the y-bar will be from the z-axis, which is yung axis that's perpendicular from the surface, to the center of gravity. Na yung center of gravity natin, dito always nag-a-act yung weight ni object. Okay? So kung gaano man kabigat ito, kapag hinawakan mo siya dito sa center of gravity, you can resist that weight and you can hold the object. An example is this calculator. So this calculator is rectangular. If so the center of gravity is located somewhere here in the center. No? This calculator. So if I hold the calculator at this point, hindi siya malalaglag. So basically, I'm counteracting the weight of the calculator by holding it in this point. So merong normal force dito. So yung weight, dito siya nag-a-act. No? Kapag hinawakan ko si calculator dito, on this point, so hindi siya malalaglag siya. Kasi yung weight natin, dito nag-a-act. So that's the center of gravity and the weight. So the weight always acts on the center of gravity of a body. Okay. So using sine, again, sine function. So we have here a triangle, a right triangle. You have here the theta. So if this is h bar and this is y bar, the relationship is sine, okay, sine theta. So opposite over hypotenuse. Therefore, this will become h bar over y bar equals sine theta. So if this is the case, then we can cross multiply y bar on this side. So this will become y bar sine theta. Now ito is equal din dito. Okay? So dito sa y bar sine theta. So pwede natin siyang i-replace with h bar. Okay? Therefore, Fe or the total force acting on this flat surface due to the fluid is equal to gamma h bar times the area, wherein gamma is the unit weight of the fluid, h bar is the vertical distance from the surface to the center of the gravity, and area is the cross-sectional area of the object of the body. Okay? Now, if you will look at some books, some references, ganito yung makikita nating formula. 1/2 gamma h squared times b. So itong formula na to is suitable only for rectangular bodies, okay, for rectangular surfaces. Bakit po? Kasi dinerive lang yung or sinimplify lang yung gamma h bar a. Okay? So yung formula kasi from this gamma h bar a, this is equal, this is gamma times 1/2 ng height, and then yung area natin is height times the base. Okay? So therefore, the formula is equal to 1/2 times gamma times h squared times base. So applicable siya sa rectangular surfaces. Saka kailangan si body mo, okay, si body mo, nag-start siya sa top. Okay, nagsimula siya sa surface. So saka lang natin to pwedeng gamitin. Kasi kung nandito siya sa gitna, hindi natin magagamit yung 1/2 h. Kasi meron ka pang distance dito. Just to inform you, no, na itong formula na to is only applicable for bodies na submerge from top, okay, sa top, and then to the top. Anyway, so this is the general formula. Okay, so total force equals gamma h bar e. Yun. So you have this force. Now, the goal of this discussion nga, no, this hydrostatic force is to determine the magnitude of the force, which can be solved by this formula nga. Okay, gamma h bar a. The other parameter that we also need to solve is yung tinatawag na y sub CP. Y sub CP. Paano natin malalaman yung Y sub CP? So, ito siya. Okay? Yung Y sub CP is the distance between the perpendicular axis dun sa surface towards the total force. Okay? So, yan yung Y sub CP. So, to determine this, we can use the principle of moment. Okay? So, mag-moment tayo about axis Z. So, dalawa yung force natin dito. We have dF and the total force. So, again, ano nga ulit ang moment? Moment is equal to force times the moment arm. Okay? So, kunin natin yung moment ng F sub t. So, that will be F sub t times the moment arm Y sub Cp. And this is equal to force dF times the moment arm Y. Therefore, ganito yung nangyari dun sa equation. Okay? So we have F sub t times Y sub Cp equals the integral Y dF. Now recall from our derivation earlier that F sub t is equal to gamma sine theta times the area times Y bar. And this dF is equal to gamma times y sine theta dA. Now we can substitute these two in this equation and it will become this. Okay. So we have gamma sine theta times area times y bar, yon, F sub t, times y sub Cp equals integral of gamma, so ito yung gamma, y sine theta dA. Okay? So meron pa tayo ditong y, ito yun. Right? So we just substituted this dF here. Now arranging the equation on this side, so we will have gamma sine theta, so nilabas lang yung sine theta, and then yung y is kinombine, so naging y squared. Okay, so this will be the resulting equation. So cancel na yung gamma sine theta because they are common to these two equations. Recall that the integral of y squared dA, okay, so this is from statics, is equal to I sub x, or the moment of inertia about x. So this equation, so na-cancel na yung gamma sine theta, will become this. So ang matitira is A y bar ycp equals ix. And yung ix natin, dito nang galing. Okay? Integral of y squared dA is equal to this. So ito na lang yung naging equation natin. Therefore, if we can, or if we cross multiply the area and the y bar, on this side, it will become this. So ito pala yung formula natin for solving y sub Cp. We just need to get the moment of inertia along x, this rectangular surface, divide by the area times y bar. We can get the y sub Cp. Okay, recall, Ix is equal to Ix bar plus AD squared. So the resulting equation will be this. Okay, from this, palitan lang. So we also add y bar. Okay, so therefore, y sub Cp is equal to E sub y plus y bar. Wherein, yung E sub y natin, okay, is the distance from the center of gravity to the center of pressure. Now, class, si center of gravity saka si center of pressure is different. Okay? When we say center of pressure, dito nag-a-act si force. Okay, si total force. Dito siya nag-coincide. So, nagko-coincide lang si center of gravity tsaka si center of pressure kapag horizontal yung surface. So, for example, yung rectangular plate natin is nakaganito. Tapos submerge siya sa tubig. Yung center of gravity natin is the same as center of pressure. Okay? So that's the first condition, no, para mag-equal silang dalawa. Kailangan din na yung both sides of the area are completely submerged in liquids. So hindi pwede na yung isang portion is exposed sa air and then yung the rest is submerged sa tubig. So hindi paparehas yung center of gravity and center of pressure. No? Okay. Kailangan uniform din yung unit weight. Okay, so homogeneous yung fluid all throughout dun sa plate. Okay. So these are the two conditions that must be satisfied para mag-coincide yung center of gravity at center of pressure. Now, sir, paano naman kung naka-vertical? If naka-vertical yung plate natin or yung surface, hindi similar yung CG sa CP. Okay? They are different. So, we have to get the eccentricity. Yung y bar, madali lang kunin. Diba? If this is a rectangular figure, edi divide lang yung height by 2. Makuha natin yung y bar. So, ang medyo komplikadong kunin is yung eccentricity, which again can be solved by this equation. Okay? So, I sub x over a times y bar. So, that's how we solve y sub Cp. So, sir, ano ulit yung ipapahanap sa atin dito? So, ang ipapahanap is yung magnitude ng total force saka yung distance from the surface to the center of pressure, where the F of the force is located. Okay, so yan madalas yung ipapahanap sa atin dito sa hydrostatic force. Alright, so the formulas to remember are these two, are these three. Okay, so you have this equation, and then you have the equation for F sub T, gamma H bar A, and then for the eccentricity, I sub X over A Y bar. So what about the X, no? The horizontal distance from the axis to the center of pressure. How do we compute this naman? So ito hindi siya masyadong kino-compute, but derive na din natin. Okay? So let's use the principle of moments again. So we will have force. So yung force natin, nag-a-act dito. Hindi lang natin kita dito kasi yung force natin papunta dun sa center pressure na to. Okay, papunta dyan. In this direction, no? So we have F sub T times the moment arm X sub Cp, and this is equal to the integral of X dm. Okay. Or yung force dito, okay, going towards that strip, and then times X. Okay, so ganun ulit. We'll use the same equations for F, T, and dF. So simplifying. Okay, so ito lang yung naiba dyan. No? Integral of xy dA. This will be equal to P sub xy. Okay, so the equation from this, it will become this. A y bar times x sub Cp equals P sub xy. And then cross multiplying A y bar on this side, so we will get this equation. But recall, Pxy is equal to Pxy hat plus Ax bar y bar. The equation will look like this. So if symmetrical, yung centroidal axis, then Pxy is 0. So wala tayong kukumputin na E sub x. Okay. With that, let's have a sample problem. Medyo mabagal yung internet natin ngayon, no? Tapos kasi yung ulan. Sige. So, let's have this sample problem. So, number 1, we have a storage tank and meron siyang lamang oil tsaka water. We can see the depths, 0.75 meter for the oil and 1.5 for the water. Now we have to determine the resultant force that both of these liquids exert on side ABC. So hanapin natin yung F sub T dito. Okay. So in my guess, it's somewhere here. Okay. Because dito nagsisituate yung malaking pressure nasa bottom. So given tayo ng width. Okay. So yan yung width ng base. 1.25 meters. And then, kailangan din natin i-determine yung location of this resultant measured from the top of the surface. So, kailangan nating isolve yung y sub Cp. Meron pa tayong given yung mass density ni oil. That is 900 kg over cubic meters. Okay, so let's solve this one. I'll share my external camera. We can start by drawing the figure first. Let's write oil here, and then water here. We have 0.75 tsaka 1.5. Okay. We can get the pressure muna. Okay, because basically, yung formula natin is gamma H bar 8. Now, yung gamma H, recall, it is pressure. Right? So, we can determine first yung pressure at B and pressure at C. Now, how can we do that? Well, we can use P sub 2 equals P sub 1 plus gamma. Okay, so let's begin with point B. So let's determine pressure B. Okay. So pressure B is equal to pressure at top. So pressure at A. Plus gamma H. So this will be P sub B equals pressure at A. What's pressure at A? It's exposed to the air. Therefore, it is 0. And then plus, we have gamma H. So, given tayo ng mass density of the oil, that is 900 kg over cubic meters. So, para makuha yung unit weight, multiply natin ito by 9.81 meter per second square. So, yan yung unit weight natin. And then, for the height, so, that is 0.75. What is P sub? Can you help me compute? Okay, thanks po. I got the same. So, 6,621.75 pascals. So, yan pala yung pressure dito. Okay. So, sunod naman natin i-compute is yung pressure at T. Okay? So, we can use pressure B because nasolve na natin si pressure B. And then, plus gamma H. Now, anong gamma yung gagamitin? So, syempre, gamma ni tubig. So, we have P sub B. It's 6621.75. And then, we add gamma of water, which is 9,810 Newton per meter cube. And then times the height, which is 1.5. Ano po yung P sub C? It's 21,336.75 Newton per meter squared or Pascal. Okay. So, kompleto na tayo with our pressures. So, we have the pressure at B and pressure at C. Now, we can draw the pressure diagram. The pressure diagram for the oil, this is A to B, will be a triangle. And then for water, it will be a trapezoid. Now, yung gusto nating malaman is yung magnitude ni force. Dalawa silang magkaibang fluid. So, para makuha natin si F sub T or yung total force na nag-act sa surface ABC, we have to independently get the force at AB and force at BC. Now, once na meron na tayong F sub AB at F sub BC, we can add those two together to get F sub T. O ito yung magnitude ng force na nag-act dito sa surface ABC. Okay? So, let us solve F sub AB first. Okay, we can do that because we already have the pressure. So, let's recall the formula. Formula is gamma H bar A. So, we already have the pressure, which is 6,621.75. Okay? So, let's write that. Now, ano yung catch? Yung catch dito, pag tinignan natin yung formula, H bar yung ginamit. Hindi siya H. Dito sa pagkuha natin ng pressure, ang ginamit natin is H. But ano ba yung H bar? H bar is yung height or yung distance from the top papunta dun sa center of gravity ni surface. So, ibig sabihin, rectangular to, ang kalahati ng 0.75 is what? 0.375. Okay? So, basically, para hindi na tayo mag-recompute, ang gawin na lang natin is i-divide ito by 2. Alright? So, satisfied na yung gamma H bar. Understood po ba yun? Or pwede ko namang ulitin? Okay po ba tayo doon? Kung bakit nag-multiply ng 1/2. Okay, kung di masyadong nakuha, pwede naman po natin ulitin. Okay? So, yan. Multiply tayo dito ng 1/2 because H bar yung kailangan dito. Okay? So, satisfied na yung gamma H bar. We just have to multiply the area. Okay? Just have to multiply the area. Now, if we will look at the container, it's a rectangular cross-section. Okay? So, we have 0.75 times the base. Ano ba yung base natin? Base natin is 1.25 meters. So, we have 0.75 times 1.25. What is F sub AB? Okay, thank you. 3,103.95 newtons. So na-compute na natin yung F sub AB. We just have to compute F sub BC. So F sub BC, same formula, gamma H bar A. So we'll have to add these two pressures. Okay? Kasi on top of ang kinukuha natin for sa water, on top of what the water, meron pa tayong oil. So we have to add those two pressures. So we have 6,621.75 plus 21,336.75. And then we'll multiply again 1/2. Okay? And then we'll have to multiply the area. So let's look at the figure. We have a rectangular cross section. So this will be 1.5 meters times 1.25 meters. What is the force at BC? Okay, 26,211.09. This is in newtons. Okay. Now we already have the two forces. So add natin silang dalawa para makuha yung F sub T. So ano po yung magnitude ni total force? Okay. It's equal to 29,315.04 newtons. So thank you. Let's see the answer. So it's the same. Okay. So we already solved for the magnitude. Ang kailangan na lang is yung location ng resultant na yun. So gamit tayo ng bagong papel. Okay. For determining the y sub Cp, let us redraw the figure. The location of f sub t is somewhere around this point. Okay? So, ito yung f sub t natin na equal siya sa 29,315.04. Okay? Now, ang hahanapin natin is yung y sub Cp. Now, paano natin gagawin yun? We can use summation of moment. So, saan tayo mag-moment? Pwede tayo mag-moment about point A. Okay? This is equal to f sub t times moment arm y sub Cp. Now, remember, si AB tsaka BC na forces, meron tayong magnitude. Diba? So, we have A sub AB and then andito si F sub BC. Now, si F sub AB, since triangle siya, yung way ng pagdetermine ng moment arm is this. So, again, ito yung PG. So, this is 1/3 H. This is 2/3 H. Okay? So, therefore, from the top, the distance is 2/3 H. So, if we will get the moment about point a moment of F sub AB, it will be equal to F sub AB times 2/3 times H, or 2/3 times 0.75 meter. And then for F sub AB, so it will be 0.75 plus half of 1.5, so that's 0.75 again. And then we add eccentricity. So this will be plus F sub BC times 0.75 meter times 1.5 over 2 plus E. Okay? And this is equal to F sub T Y sub CP. So this is our equation. Now we only have one equation, therefore, kailangan isa lang yung unknown natin. Diba? So F sub AB, meron na tayo. Na-compute na natin. That is 3,000 something. As well as F sub BC, 26K. Yung H meron, 0.75. Okay, ito yan. F sub T meron din, 29,000 something. Ang wala tayo is yung E. Okay? Para makompute natin itong Y sub CP. Diba? Ito yung unknown natin. So, kailangan nating makompute si E bago natin makompute si unknown, no? Which is Y sub CP. So, for us to compute E, we can use this equation. We have P max equals R over the width times the length, or width times the height, in this case, times 1 plus 6E over H. Okay? Now, what is P sub max? P sub max is the pressure that is the greatest. Okay? So, in this figure, we computed that P sub C yung maximum. Okay? Ito yung pressure sa bottom. No? So, we will use that 21,336.75. This is Pascal. And this is equal to the pressure at of the force, sorry. The force at BC. Okay? So force at BC is equal to 26,211.09. This is in newtons. And then divided by W times H. So we look at the figure, it's 1.25 meters times 1.5. Okay. And then we multiply 1. This is plus 6E over 1.5 meter. Okay. So this is a derived equation incorporating the pressure. So we can use this formula to get the E. No? So we just have to get the pressure and the force at that fluid, the area, substitute the height, and we can get the eccentricity. Okay. Now, what is E? It's equal to 0.1316 meter. We can substitute this to this for us to get y sub c. Okay, so okay, solving for y sub cp, we will get we will get 1.51 meter. So yung distance pala na to from the surface to f sub t is 1.51 meters. Any questions po? Okay. Next we have number 2. So let's read this problem and then let's solve. The tank truck is filled to its top with water. Determine the magnitude of the resultant force on the elliptical backplate of the tank and the location of the center of pressure measured from the top of the tank. So we are looking for the F sub t and its location of the Y sub cp. Let us solve. F sub t formula is gamma h bar a. So what's the unit weight? The fluid is water. Therefore, we will use gamma sub W, which is equal to 9,000 810 Newton per cubic meter. And then we'll have to multiply the H bar. So that is the distance, okay, half ng ellipse. Okay, so this is yung H bar. So kalahati itong ellipse na to. So that is 0.75 meter. And then we'll have to multiply the area. But how do we get the area of an ellipse? So the formula is pi AB. So in this figure, this is A and this is B. Yes, John Ma. May tanong ka? Okay, so pi AB. Okay. So pi AB, multiply tayo ng pi times 1 meter times 0.75 meter. Okay lang. So, yan. Ito yung equation natin. So, ano po yung F sub t? Okay. 17,335.7 newtons. So, we have solved the F sub t. Kunin na lang natin is yung Y sub tp. So recall, yung formula na dinerive natin kanina is Ix over A times Y bar plus Y bar, and this is also equal to the eccentricity along Y plus Y bar. Okay. So pwede natin gamitin ito. Pwede natin gamitin ito. So, tingin lang tayo dito sa given. No? So, meron tayo ditong formulas, no? For quarter ellipse, para yan sa moment of inertia. Okay, pag-compute ng moment of inertia. So, to compute for this I sub x, we can use this. So, this will be equal to pi a b cube over 16. Now, yung moment of inertia na to is para lang sa isang quarter ellipse. Tingin tayo dito sa figure. Meron tayong 4. Kaya, i-multiply natin ito by 4. Okay na yan. No? Para na yan dun sa 4. So, we divide the area and we call yung area natin pi AB. So, this will be pi times A, which is 1, times B, which is 0.75. Okay? So, ito yung area natin. and then times y bar. So ano ba yung y bar? Similar lang siya dun sa h bar. 0.75. And then we add y bar again. So plus 0.75. What will be y sub c? Okay, sorry. Nawala ako. So, this is 1, this is 0.75 cube. So, what will be y sub c? Okay. Nakuha ko po mga mamat sir is 0.9375. Okay, so iba-iba tayo, no? So sige, hindi ko pa kasi sa-substitute yung A tsaka B. So, yung equation natin, no? Yan. So, I think magkakapare-parehas na tayo ng sagot. So, paki-compute nga ulit. Okay. So, same na tayo ng answer. So, yan yung location nung f sub t from the top. Okay? So, let's say, ito yung f sub t natin na yung magnitude niya ay 17,335.7. And then, yung location niya from the top. Okay? Ito yung y sub cp equal sa 0.9375 meter. So, dito siya nag-a-act yung resultant force. So, let's check if our answer is correct. Okay. questions. Dali lang. Direct sum. So, in your exam, ibibigay naman natin itong mga formulas na to. Okay, so I will give the moment of inertia, center of gravity, or yung centroid, for common shapes. Para mas madali nyo siyang masagutan. And then, yeah, that's it for today. We only have 2 examples, pero itong examples na kasi to, or yung topic na to, mahaba talaga yung solutions. So, in your exam, I will just give a simple problem. Okay, na similar dun sa binigay natin today. So, because unfair naman, very limited yung time, tapos bibigay tayo ng sobrang hirap. So, yun. Bigay lang tayo ng almost similar din. But, kailangan, syempre, marunong tayong mag-solve. Similar lang dun sa binigay natin exam. Okay? So, it's already 12 p.m. Tinig nyo ba yung sir sa exam ilan pong items po doon? So, we'll have 2 parts again. Part 1 is for the concepts. So, multiple choice, true or false, 5 items. And then, second part, I will give 3 or 4 problem solving. 3 or 4 problem solving. So, kumbaga, ko na lang, i-gauge ko na lang, no? Kung depende dun sa difficulty ng tanong. So, kung medyo madadali yung tanong, edi damihan natin, no? Pero kapag mahirap yung tanong, so, kuntian natin. Okay? So, ganun yung ginawa ko dun sa prelim exam because as you can see, so medyo konti lang ang solution, iba bawat item. So, madali lang siyang kunin. So, madami yung binigay natin, no? So, yun, i-gauge ko na lang kung gaano kahirap yung tanong, tsaka gaano siya katagal sagutan, and then I'll base the number of items dun sa factor na yun. Okay? So, meron lang po tayong assignment ngayon na hindi naman siya problem solving. No? So, discussion lang siya about our topic today, hydrostatic force, na pwede nyo sagutan until next week. So, until April 12, Tuesday next week. And then, i-publish ko din after the conference yung PowerPoint. Tapos, ituloy natin yung discussion because we still haven't discussed hydrostatic force on curved surface. So, ang diniscuss lang po natin ngayon is hydrostatic force on flat surface. Okay, so itong subject na to or yung topic na to, discuss na lang natin next week, Tuesday. Tapos, simulan na rin natin yung analysis of dams. Okay, kasi itong topic na to, magbibigay lang tayo ng isang problem. Okay, isang problem. Tapos, proceed na tayo dun sa bagong topic sa module 4, which is yung analysis of dams. Na-publish na. So, check na lang tayo ng attendance. And then, dismissal na. Miss Christine Joy Cancilaw. Okay, present Erwin. Si Mr. De Harlo. Emmanuel. Ayun. Mr. Terence Loyola. Nga pala, karamihan sa atin nagkamali doon sa number 10 ng prelim exam. So, if you will take a look at your prelim exam, yung grades nyo doon, karamihan nakakuha ng 32 over 34. Ang reason doon is hindi nasagutan yung coefficient of compressibility or yung beta. No? So, yung beta, makukuha siya by dividing 1 by the E sub B or yung E sub B. Okay? So, ano ata yun? 2 point something times 10 raised to negative 6 meter squared over Newton. Tapos, huwag nyo din kalimutan yung unit. No? So, kapag kasi walang unit, minaminusan ko siya. So, kailangan yung answer natin kompleto yung solution, yung final answer naka-box, tapos may unit. So, yun yung hinahanap ko. And kapag yun, nakita ko kompleto, tapos tama yung sagot, so I give the full credit. No? But yun, kapag kulang-kulang, kulang ng unit, tapos kulang ng answer, tulad nito, walang compressibility, so may minus siya. Okay. So, ingat lang tayo doon. Basahin natin ng maigi yung question. Okay. But, merong iba rin nakatama, so naka-perfect sila. Okay. Kasi ito nga lang yung medyo tricky eh. Medyo hindi natin napansin. No? So, yun. Okay, next time, ano na lang natin. Tingnan na lang natin maigi. Okay. So, any questions pa po? Okay, so if wala na, you may leave the conference. Good luck sa good luck sa midterm exam nyo tomorrow and Thursday. See you on Tuesday next week.